Wuthering, wuthering, wuthering. How will Kuro Games wither these waves? Because every time I go to the internet, I see more and more chaos. Wuthering has had an impactful launch, to put it lightly. It begs the question of whether they knew about half these issues people are experiencing. With all of that being said, are they doomed to fall into obscurity? Well, at the rate they're going, that's a big no. With every issue that arises, the dev team is working on a solution. With all of the issues from day one, they even issued us a free 5-star character to ease the fires. I will take that as a bribe any day. Kuro Games has been releasing hotfix after hotfix to isolate and fix these issues, and it's getting better. The fact that the dev team is responding earnestly to resolve all of the issues speaks volumes for my trust with this company. The bigger question many of you may be asking is, why did Kuro Games release the game in this state? Well, while some people, mainly content creators and those with high-end devices, are able to explore the game with ease, other people are just having the worst time ever. Personally, I haven't had any issues with phone or PC, but my devices are on the higher end of things. Wuthering Waves functions more or less ideally on high-end devices. Most content creators have high-end PCs, so they're able to play the game without much issues, while a lot of casual players and people on phones will have many issues with the game. With that being said, most of the player base will not be playing with the best specs on their devices, hence the myriad of issues. It seems the game was not optimized for these devices. There are many things that went into the timing of the launch, and I still think that the timing for this game's release is great. A lot of the optimizations are opening up this game to more and more people, and it's only a matter of time before these issues are fully fleshed out. Perhaps there was an issue with their license expiring. Their competitor, Genshin Impact, will be releasing Notland in 2 months, and then Zen Zen is coming out soon as well, so this game can't just pick up dust. Not only that, but so many people have known about Wuthering Waves for over 2 years now. Would you really be okay with never experiencing this game for another 6 months or potentially a year? The best option for Kuro Games is to buckle down and resolve these issues as they come up. Despite doing closed beta and internal testing, it's quite hard to optimize the game on a global level. I could talk about how they may want to use a different engine, or how they may want to fix some aspects of their coding, but the implications of that at this stage is just not optimal and frankly impossible. We have bigger issues on our hands, however. Rather than just the fuck-ups Kuro Games is currently fixing, the doom posting. Now, I normally don't believe doom posting really exists, as most of the time, this is just valid criticism about a game, but when you see so much criticism, it begins to wear on you. I think the biggest issue with the community is that we wanted a perfect game. While Genshin was much more optimized than Wuthering Waves on release, it was by no means perfect. They had many issues in the first few weeks of the game, and they resolved those issues within a few updates. Even until this day, they are still adding quality of life features that should have been in the game to begin with. There is so much miscommunication and tiny aspects of the game that are being scrutinized, and it's spreading throughout the community to give it a bad impression. Yes, things are not perfect, but by no means does that mean that this game is not worth checking out. The devs are working tirelessly to fix these issues, and despite me hating that I have to download a new update literally every day, I would take that over dead silence. Many people who played day one were basing their opinions on 2 hours of the game rather than the game as a whole. I understand that the story did not quite resonate with you, but which gacha game had an impactful first act? Literally every gacha game that I have played had a very lackluster story for the first few chapters. Some of them pick up rather quickly, but others are still very much lacking. This is a game first and a story second, and I really started to be more immersed in the story literally by the 3rd hour of the game. There are still some issues with auto-playing the story, so it doesn't flow perfectly, but that is not something that is unfixable. Give it a few months and I can assure you Wuthering Waves will strive. The best thing that you want from a gaming company is clear and concise communication. That is why I will stick with Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves. We get feedback to major issues within 48 hours, rather than Genshin, who takes 2 to 4 weeks to even acknowledge that an issue exists. On the upside of all this game has been out for about 10 days and has made about 10 million USD. That's a great start. Despite getting so many rewards, I don't really see a reason as to why people spent money so early, but this is great. They can really throw that money back into the game to make better voice acting, fix all the bugs, and just make the game better. Personally, the game has worked great for me. Besides some stuttering, camera tracking issues, along with some weird glitches that occur, some of which were actually pretty funny, I am having a blast with the game. We can continue to enjoy the game while rewards keep flying our way. For those of you who cannot play the game, I understand your frustration. It is infuriating when things do not work, especially when you've been waiting for this game for quite some time. I can only say that giving feedback will be helpful because we all know that they read the feedback. You do have a right to criticize the game, especially if you cannot play when you're within the right specs, even if they are on the low end of things. We also have a right to say how we don't like the voice acting in the game, along with feedback for all of the bugs in the game, the tracking issues, and so on. However, let's try to be civil about it. Talk about the things that we love about the game too, like how Alto and Encore make quite the dynamic duo, like how Rover is riding the villain in this game and we want to be between them, like how the combat is so dynamic and fun and the exploration feels so much quicker and smoother than other games, and how I want my head to be crushed between Tao Chi's chest. Let's talk about the good things in this game too, not just the bad things. No, seriously, Tao Chi, crush my head with your mouth. Still here? Great. Go ahead and like this video as this keeps the channel alive and ensures that I will continue to make great content for you all. Until next time, Enigma out.